ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। द्यौ शान्तिः अन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिः आपः शान्तिः औषधय शान्तिः वनस्पतय शान्तिः विश्वे देवा शान्तिः ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। तेजोसि तेजोमयि धेहि वीर्यमसि वीर्यं मयि धेहि बलमसि बलं मयि धेहि ओजोसि ओजो मयि धेहि मन्युरसि मन्युं मयि धेहि सहोसि सहो मयि धेहि। ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। हरिः Om. Yeah, Dr. Janardan, you can please take it forward from here.
Thank you, Maharaj. So we will start with the second prayer today. We will try to see what this prayer is talking about. What is this dialogue with the Almighty? What is this appeal that we are making, and how it is important for students? Now, you have to understand one more thing, that all these prayers that we do, as I told you, that it was a dialogue with the, absolute truth. It is the dialogue with the super energy or the superpower that is helping us in our living, in our growth, in our birth, everything which is being controlled by that God, by that Almighty, as you would name them in so many words. That power, that energy is always being evoked. We are always praying. We are always telling him, requesting him, appealing to him, and trying to get connected. And these mantras were, particularly this mantra is a part of Atharva Veda. You know that we have 4 Vedas. Can anyone tell me what are the 4 Vedas? Anyone? What are the 4 Vedas?
Sir, Rig, Sam, Jodu, Atharva.
Rig, Sam,
Rig,
Yadu?
Sam, Jodu,
Yes.
Atharva.
Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and and Atharva Veda. And it is the part of Atharva. But you will see that this distribution of Vedas, like this knowledge, this wisdom, was actually collated by a great scholar, great saint, great guru, and he is known as Adi Guru also, and his name is Vyasa. So Vyasa Dev collated all these powerful collections of what you call truth. These are truth that had been seen, observed by the great seers, and they were collected by Vyasadeva, and he distributed them into four divisions: the Rig, Sam, Yajur, and Atharva, for various reasons, according to their features, according to their qualities, according to their utilities. They were divided, ভাগ করা হয়েছিল। এবং সেই অথর্ব বেদের একটা অংশ হচ্ছে ওম ভদ্রম কর্ণেভি শৃণুয়াম দেবা। এবার কি, যে এই বেদ, বেদের যে ভাষা, সেই ভাষা হচ্ছে খুব কমপ্লিকেটেড। Like you find English to be very difficult, very complicated, very complex. Similarly, the language of Vedas was also very, very complicated. They were in poetical renditions. They were in forms, they are in forms of poems and lyrical. And because of that, and lot of ideas were contained in smaller sentences. So it was very difficult for common people to, understand. So later on, Vyasadeva compiled a simpler versions and also streamlined the knowledge into different Upanishads and later in Puranas. So we will discuss that some other day. But then I mentioned about this because this mantra is also there as a Shanti mantra, or as we did before our classes, before these Upanishads, three Upanishads, especially Mandukya, Mundaka, and Prasna Upanishad. These three Upanishads, they have this mantra in their beginning. So you start the Upanishad with this prayer. So now let us see why this prayer is so important, why it is mentioned in so many Upanishads, why it is mentioned in Atharva Veda. You will come to know about it once you understand the meaning of it. It is so clear and so necessary for students and teachers. So can anyone read this out in English? It is written here in English. So can anyone read the English portion that you can see? I'm sharing it. Anyone? Please go ahead. Aparupa. Yes, Aparupa. Please read it. I'm sharing it. Wait.
Hi, sir.
Yes, yeah, Aparupa. Read it.
O God, may we hear with our ears what is auspicious. May we see with our eyes what is auspicious. With our strong limbs and steady sense organs, may we sing praise to God and live a fulfilled spans of lifetime allotted by God.
Okay. Now, one thing, Aparupa, auspicious. Auspicious. You don't have to say
Auspicious.
auspicious.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And this is steady, steady, steady. Once more, just say it, steady.
Steady.
Very good, very good. That's great. Lovely, Aparupa. You said it wonderfully. You read it wonderfully. What is it saying? Look, we perceive this world. We know this world. How? Through our senses. We have our five senses, sense organs, and these sense organs helps us. These sense organs help us to perceive the world. It help us. They all help us to understand the world. Now, you know what are these five organs, which is very important for communication also, because you communicate through these five organs. So what are those five sense organs? Can anyone tell me? What are the 5 sense organs? Agnish. Yes, Agnish.
Sir, I am Ognishray Bormon. I am from Shipur SSBS Vidyalaya, and the
Thank you.
5 organs are eyes, nose, tongue, mouth, and skin.
Okay. No, tongue you have already said. So tongue and mouth are the same. So once again, if you can just count them.
Sir, eyes,
Yes.
nose,
Yes.
mouth, tongue,
Yes. Tongue,
ear,
ear,
and skin.
and skin.
Skin.
Very good. Very good, Agnish. That is correct. So through these 5 organs, we perceive the world. We know the world. We come to know about everything. So they actually kind of create sensations which are going to our nervous system in our mind. And there we have our gray matter, and that is assimilating those sensory feelings, those uh, uh, sensory, what I would say, sensory pulses, those pulses which are reaching our mind, that is being assimilated, and we understand about this world, or whatever we are perceiving, or whatever we are feeling, or whatever we are seeing. So, what are you saying? That, oh God, may we hear with our ears what is auspicious. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of auspicious? What is the meaning of auspicious? Anyone, just give it a try.
Sir, Povitro.
Very good, very good, wonderful. তাহলে পবিত্র বলতে কি বোঝায় এখানে? Auspicious বলতে আমরা কি বুঝবো এখানে? কেউ বলো, মানে পবিত্র বলতে তুমি কি বুঝছো? পবিত্র আমরা শব্দটা চিনি, শব্দটা
শুভ কোন জিনিস।
হ্যাঁ, ভেরি গুড। যে জিনিসটা হচ্ছে শুভ, যে জিনিসটা আমার পক্ষে ভালো, যে জিনিসটা yes, something that is good for us. Ankita, very good, that's what it is. So we are actually requesting God that God, this particular organ that you have given us, that is our ears, let us hear that which is good for us, that which is pure, that which is powerful, that which makes us powerful, that which actually helps us to grow. So all these positive sounds that is around you. Now this is very interesting, and it leads to your communication. This is what is communication, because part of communication is listening. Part of communication is also hearing. There is a difference between listening and hearing, which we will talk later, which we'll discuss later. But now, in communication, listening or hearing is very important, and you do it with your ears. So what kind of things do you want to hear is also a request to the Almighty. I will tell you a story. Recently, a friend of mine who stayed in US, now she was very troubled, because every day the news is kind of disturbing her and troubling her, because the news is like our news here in our country also, is only talking about deaths and disease, and about how people are not able to kind of control COVID, and innumerable people are being infected, innumerable people are dying. So what is this? This news that that is entering the ear is continuously disturbing her. She is losing her peace. She was wailing. She was weeping profusely. She was crying over the telephone, and she was very sad. What happens? These are the things that keeps on disturbing us. So you are telling God, so God, keep away these kind of sound that disturbs me. It happens. You walk down the street, simple sounds like the honking of the horn, like all these mic blaring sounds, deafening sounds. You also sometimes get involved in these kind of things. I'm very sorry to say, but when these sounds enter our system, instead of giving us the peace, the happiness, It gives us problems, trouble. I know you might be enjoying rock music, but that is music. Music is something different. I'm not against rock music. I'm not against blues. I'm not against hard rock also. But you must understand and appreciate it only till you have your peace in mind. Otherwise, you must avoid it. Now, many of you I've seen when you are studying, you keep your music system on. If it is helping you, if it is helping you to calm down, like you are listening to a classical raga or you are listening to a mantra chanted beautifully, which calms down your nerves, and then you start studying, then you start working, whatever you are doing, then you start playing a game of chess, or you are going to bat, you listen to good music, calm down your mind, and then go on the cricket pitch, you will feel energized, you will feel positive. So this is what you have to request the Almighty, that every time you hear a sound or a sentence or a word or a couple of sentences, it should add energy to your life, positivity to your life, happiness to your life. This is the first thing. Then what? You said eyes. Bhadram pashyamaksha bhirya yajatraha. May we see with our eyes what is auspicious. You have to be very selective. Look, now you are adults. You are no more kids that your parents will take you outside and they will take you to places which are good for you, which are healthier for you. You are not kids that your teachers will always guide you and take you for outings. You are all independent individuals now. You go on your own to the marketplace, to the movie hall, to the theater halls, on the street. You walk alone. Now, because you've got this independence, you must know how to use this independence. There is a great gentleman known as George Bernard Shaw. He's a literary icon of English literature. He has written lovely plays. Bernard Shaw says that with freedom comes responsibility. Responsibility comes with freedom. So when you are independent in class 11 and class 12, young, independent, intelligent students that you all are, but along with your independence, there is a responsibility. What is that responsibility? That responsibility is to make the correct choice, to choose the right thing. So your eyes are always open and they're seeing lovely things all around as you walk down the street. But you should be choosing which one to concentrate on and which one to avoid. There are so many visions in front of you, lovely things happening around you. See them, appreciate them, enjoy them. But there are so many ugly things also around you. Don't indulge into those ugly things. Sometimes for temporary pleasure, we actually indulge into such kind of wrong seeing, wrong hearing, which actually harms us. But that moment we don't understand because it is temporary. That momentary pleasure, that destroys our capacity of choice, that destroys our capacity to think, to be judicious, and to take the right choice. সঠিক সিদ্ধান্ত নেওয়ার ক্ষমতা আমরা হারিয়ে ফেলি ওই তাৎক্ষণিক আনন্দের জন্য, এবং তখন আমরা নির্ধারিত করতে পারি না যে আমার কি দেখা উচিত, কি শোনা উচিত। ওই সামান্য একটু আনন্দের জন্য পরবর্তীকালে যখন তোমার একটু বুদ্ধি কাজ করছে, তুমি যখন চেতনায় ফিরে এসেছো তোমার, তখন তোমার পশ্চাতাপ হবে। তখন তুমি ভাববে এই ভুল কেন করলাম। এই পশ্চাতাপটা যাতে না হয়, এই রিগ্রেট যাতে না হয়, so that you don't suffer, you need to be choosy. So when you are seeing the television, so when you are surfing the net, so when you are actually looking into your mobile and you are checking your WhatsApp and Instagram and Twitter, be very careful what you want to see and what is available. All that is available is not your kind of choice. You are intelligent. You are strong. You are beautiful. Why should you see something that is ugly? Why should you see something that is painful? Why should you indulge in something that is going to harm you, that is going to destroy you? So be very, very choosy. So you are praying God that God, give me that power so that I can choose the right vision. I can choose the right auditory quality. And then, what do you work with? Your karmendriyas, your arms, your legs, strong limbs, and all your sense organs. What you do is basically you sing the praises of God. You sing the glory of God. Now, this is very interesting, students. Many are, আমি কি তাহলে স্যার কীর্তন করব? আমি কি তাহলে স্যার এখন ভজন করব? Praising God is, of course, kirtana. It is also bhajana, which is very direct. But you can also praise God by appreciating His creation. ভগবান যে এই সৃষ্টি, এই অনাদি সৃষ্টি, এই সৃষ্টির যে মহত্ব, এই সৃষ্টির যে সৌন্দর্য, তাকে যদি তুমি অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েট করো, তাকে যদি তুমি রক্ষা করো, তাকে যদি তুমি প্রণাম করো, তাহলেই ভগবানকে প্রণাম করো। তুমি গাছপালা সংরক্ষণ করছো, তুমি পুকুর সংরক্ষণ করছো, তুমি বাতাসকে সংরক্ষণ করছো, তুমি বায়ুকে সংরক্ষণ করছো, সেটাও ভগবানের পূজা, কারণ এটা তো ভগবানের সৃষ্টি। তুমি আমাকে কি করে খুশি রাখবে? তুমি আমার ক্লাস অ্যাটেন্ড করে আমাকে খুশি রাখবে, কারণ ক্লাসটা আমার সৃষ্টি। তুমি আমার ক্লাসে অ্যাটেন্ড করবে, তুমি আমার ক্লাসে আনসার করবে, আই উইল বি হ্যাপি। Similarly, God will be happy if you attend His classes. What are His classes? His classes is to participate in His creative, this wonderful creative world that is around you. এই যে সৃষ্টি, এই সৃষ্টির মধ্যে নিমজ্জিত হয়ে তুমি আনন্দিত। So all this communication that you are learning, you are actually kind of learning for appreciating the beauty of God, the creation of God. All that you are learning, not only communication, the physics, the chemistry, the biology, the geography, the history, everything. And so it is said, fulfill in the span of my lifetime. জীবনটা খুব ছোট, আর এই ছোট জীবনে তুমি যাতে সম্পূর্ণভাবে এই কাজটা করতে পারো, তার জন্য তুমি ভগবানকে প্রার্থনা করছো। You are appealing. Look how strong this prayer is. Have you heard such kind of prayers earlier? তোমরা আগে শুনেছো এই ধরনের প্রার্থনা? হ্যালো, শুনেছো এই ধরনের প্রার্থনা? বা প্রার্থনা সম্পর্কে শুনে তোমার কেমন লাগছে? Give me a feedback. Just a simple one-liner or a two-liner. How do you feel about whatever I've shared with you? Abir. Yes, Abir. Yes, Abir.
Yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir, it is very good.
It is. It is. And thank you, Orchita. You feel relaxed. You feel so. Children, when you understand the meaning of these prayers and this amazing, as written by one of our students, Sneha and all, they are all appreciating because you've understood why we are doing this prayer. So I would request you, learn this prayer and practice it. And from henceforth, I think after maybe a month or so, I would request you to initiate the prayers. I will have a word with Maharajji, and if he allows, one prayer you can all say. And so that would be a great practice. And even the utterances, the pronunciation of these mantras also energize us, which I will later let you know how the sonic quality, the phonetic quality of a particular word is giving us energy, is potent, is energy. Okay, so with that brief note, not a brief, a pretty long one, note on prayer, I think we can, and it is related to communication. It is nothing that it is beyond our syllabus. It is a part of our syllabus because it talks about communication. It talks about our sensory organs. Now we move into, okay. So Maharaj has already said that the soft copy of the prayers, they had been sent to the schools. Please collect it. Please collect it from the schools. Please request your coordinator teachers to give you the prayers. Okay? Yes. Apart from moral values, it also has got some necessary, interesting, what you call elements in all these prayers. Okay. So without much ado, we will start with our next word. Just a short visit to what we have already done, and then we will so initially we saw what is communication and how it is communicare and what is meant by communication. We had dealt with certain words like transmit, transport, and there are still certain left which I will deal later because they are not related to what we are doing now, like interaction, interjection, all these things we will discuss later. And then last day we played a face, making of a face. So make a face was a very interesting and lovely games which you participated, and we wanted others to tell what that face was actually expressing. So what was the meaning of that particular expression? And now, after that, I also told you about how Swami Vivekananda was interested in languages and how he himself pursued different languages, how he learned those languages, what kind of an effort he put in. So now, this gentleman, can anyone tell me who is this gentleman? Anyone? Can anyone tell me who is this gentleman that I showed you? This one. Okay. Who is this gentleman? Any guesses? Just guess.
Sir,
There
can
is...
I guess?
Oh, sure, you can. Please go ahead.
Is he Walt Disney because he's like with Mickey Mouse and something?
Yes, Srijita, you are absolutely right.
Thank
Bingo.
you, sir.
And his name is Walt Disney. And he is the creator of all these lovely characters like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and all the other Disney films. He is the owner of the Disney World and the Disney films that you see. All those lovely films, from Frozen to Nemo to I think even all those movies which has these cartoon characters, interesting characters, which actually had uh, been a treasure of our younger days, like when we were children. But still, I'm very fond of the Disneyland and the Disney creations. And Walt Disney is the creator. He says, if you can dream it, you can do it. And this stands for everything that you do in life. It is applicable to everything, whether you are a cricketer, you are a golfer, you are a boxer, you are a student, you are a cook, you are a dancer, you are a musician. You have to dream about it. So what is required is you have to dream that you are desirous of learning English. You want to learn English. You must dream it. Otherwise, if you don't have this aspiration, if you don't have this desire, if you don't have this dream, you won't be able to fulfill it. So it is not that your parents are forcing you. It is the teachers are cajoling you, or it is we from VIVEK-DISHA, we are trying to allure you through different. It is your dream. It is your personal coveted dream that you want to realize. You want to see it true. You have to dream it. So when you are learning languages, this is something I often tell my students, that it is not a mechanical process. You just attend the class and you learn a couple of grammatical rules and you learn a couple of words. You will learn the language. No, it doesn't happen like that. And you have been doing this for 10 to 12 years. with everything, with your Bangla, with your Hindi, with your Sanskrit, with your English. But how much of that language have you learned? Very piddy bit, very small unit. Why? Because you have not included this in your dream. You must dream everything that you want to do, which is difficult. You must dream, you must imagine it. So this is what I wanted to say, because it's a very, very strange world, the world of language. Today, can anyone tell me what is the origin of language? What can be the probable origin of the language? Where did language come from? How
So
did
that,
yeah,
sir,
yes, Rijita?
yeah, we can say that languages come from our emotions when we want to show our emotions and want to make the people in front of us can understand what we are actually feeling.
Good, Srijita. That's a good, attempt and a very good approach. Like when we wanted to express our emotions. But I'm talking about like in ancient times, there are lots of theories, but there are theories which don't stand strong. And why they don't stand strong, I will discuss with you. But I just wanted to know from you that what do you think? ভাষা তৈরি হলো কি করে? ইংরেজি হোক, বাংলা হোক, হিন্দি হোক, উর্দু হোক, ভাষা তৈরি হলো কি করে? Sharanya. Yes, Sharanya.
স্যার ভাষা প্রথম তৈরি হয়েছিল যখন আদিমকালে মানুষরা কথা বলতো না, নিজেদের শুধুমাত্র মনের ভাব প্রকাশ করার জন্য আঁকতো। তো এইভাবেই তাদের চাহিদাটাকে, নিজের মনের চাহিদা বা বেঁচে থাকার চাহিদা থেকেই আস্তে আস্তে ভাষার উৎপত্তি হয়, যাতে তাদের জীবনের চলার পথটা আরো সোজা হয়।
সোজা হয়। খুব ভালো, খুব ভালো। Urchita, would you like to add something to this origin of language? Origin of language. What do you feel
Yes,
was
sir.
the origin of language? Yes, Urchita.
স্যার আমার যেটা মনে হয় মানুষ আদিমকাল থেকেই সভ্যতাটাকে তাদেরকে বাড়াচ্ছে, যত উন্নত করা যাচ্ছে তারা সেটা চেষ্টা করছে। প্রথমে তারা যেমন শারমিয়া বলল, প্রথমে তারা ছবি এঁকে এঁকে বোঝাতো, তারপরে আস্তে আস্তে সেটা ইশারায় পরিণত হলো। এবং মানুষ যখন দেখছে যে নিজেদেরকে আরও ডেভেলপ করা দরকার, শুধুমাত্র ইশারায় অনেক কথাই যেমন বোঝা যায় না, নিজের এক্সপ্রেশনকে যেমন তুলে ধরার জন্য, যাতে তার মনের মধ্যে কি আছে সেটা অন্য কেউ বুঝতে পারে, কমিউনিকেশন, এটা কমিউনিকেশন করতে গেলেও তাদেরকে ভাষা যেমন লাগে। যেমন একজন বোবা মানুষ যদি কথা বলতে চায় আমাদের সাথে, প্রথমে আমাদের একটু প্রবলেম হবে, কিন্তু সে যদি কথা বলতে পারতো তাহলে তার সুবিধাটা আরো হতো। তো এত কিছু ভাবনা চিন্তার পরেই ভাষার উৎপত্তি হয়েছে।
Acha. Very good, very good. Abir, what do you feel was the origin of language? Abir.
Sir, mainly languages are created to fulfill our need of communication with the people of our surroundings.
Okay. Now, Shayantan has written the origin of language can be a single proto-language that slowly evolved and was transported to different parts of the world. A very one theory that's not all about languages, but this is one of the theories which says that there was one language, the proto-language, which later on got transferred to different places. Good. But we know, as Abir and Urchita and others, they all said that language was a necessity, একটা প্রয়োজনীয়তা, একটা ভীষণ দরকারি জিনিস আদিম মানুষের কাছে, গুহাবাসী মানুষ, যাদের আমরা নিওলিথিক ও প্যালিওলিথিক পিরিয়ডে, হ্যাঁ, প্রস্তর যুগে, এবং ওই সময়কার মানুষ যারা গুহাবাসী, গুহাতে থাকতেন, তাদের একটা প্রয়োজনীয়তা। কারণ প্রথমে যখন মানুষ হয়তো একা থাকতো, তখন হয়তো তার এটার প্রয়োজনীয়তা ছিল না। কারণ একা থাকলে যোগাযোগ, the first thing that you said, that it is a way to connect with the other. What is communication? Connect with the other. When that necessity was not there, they might not have felt the need of language. But when later on, yes, I will ask you, Ognish, just let me complete this, then Ognish will add something to it. Then what happened is when man started to become collective from individual, from vyashti, they started becoming samashti, becoming together, collective. They wanted to come in groups. একসাথে থাকার একটা চেষ্টা করতে লাগলো যখন যখন তারা ভাবলো যে না, ওর সঙ্গে মারামারি করে লাভ নেই, ওর সঙ্গে থাকলে বোধহয় আমার সুবিধে হবে। এই যে প্রয়োজনীয়তা যে আরেকজন মানুষ তার সঙ্গে থাকলে তার সুবিধে হবে, তার সঙ্গে যোগাযোগ করার জন্য তার একটা জিনিস দরকার, সেটা কি? ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ। কমিউনিকেট করার জন্য কমিউনিকেশন দরকার ছিল। এবার কি হয়েছে, আমরা যখন প্রত্নতাত্ত্বিক, the people, archaeologists, they excavated lot of things, but those are material things, যেমন কিছু প্রস্তর খণ্ড, কিছু আঁকা, এই সব পাওয়া গেছে। কিন্তু এই যে কথা, এটা তো স্টোর করা যায়নি, because we did not have recording tapes, we did not have mobile phones then, we did not have other instruments which can record sounds. সেই জন্য সাউন্ডটা কিভাবে এলো, ওই যে একটা গ্যাপ, there is a big huge darkness, uncertainty about the evolution of language. From the time we started recording, it is available with us, but before that, how language evolved, it is not there. So what happened, these people who indulge in language studies, what do we call them? ভাষাবিদদের আমরা কি বলি? কেউ বলতে পারবে? ভাষাবিদ, ভাষাবিদদের কি বলি? Yes, Oshmita. These linguists, because this is linguistic studies, the linguists, they started kind of giving us hypothetical theories that were not possible to be proved. Yes, of course, philologists also, but philologists deal more with words, but linguists started with the study of language. And what happened, they came up with these theories called poo-poo theories, wow theories. A very funny theories were called, which were later on about. What are these theories? Like when, for an example, this wow theory was basically human beings noticed that the animals were making sounds. They had this wow, roaring of the lion, the barking of the dog, the bleating of the deer, all these kind of sounds they heard, they observed, and from there they started, and human beings, they learn through mimicry, through copying. Most of our learning that takes place from our childhood, এই বয়স পর্যন্ত সব নকল করে করে, আমাদের বাবা মা, আমাদের শিক্ষক শিক্ষিকা, আমাদের বন্ধু বান্ধব, এদেরকে দেখে নকল করে করে, we are, what are we doing? We are learning. So we observed these animals and we started kind of making sounds. This is one theory. Some theories were like a theory where whenever you did some work, যখনই তুমি কোনো কাজ করছিলে, তখন তোমার শরীরের ভেতর থেকে আওয়াজ বেরিয়ে আসছিল। যেমন তুমি ধরে নাও, when you are picking up weight, or you are running, or you are trying to kind of, when you are getting hurt, so all these sounds, they generated from your system because of your activities. তোমার কাজ কর্মের মধ্যে দিয়ে এই সাউন্ডস গুলো বেরোচ্ছিল, এবং সেই সাউন্ডস গুলোকে পরে you turned into language. কেউ বলে অ্যানিমালস দেখে করেছে। বাইবেলে বলা হচ্ছে that it was God and it was a miracle. Miracle মানে কি? এক ধরনের অদ্ভুত কাণ্ড, যাতে ভগবান অ্যাডাম আর কে ছিল? অ্যাডামের সঙ্গে Yeah, so you all know. Adam and Eve, the first two creations of God, Adam ke naki Bhagavan ei power ta dilo, hotat, the power of language. আর সেই power of language থেকে তারা একটা টাওয়ার তৈরি করলো, the Tower of Babel. এবং সেই ব্যাবল কি করলো, হেভেনের কাছাকাছি, ভগবানের কাছাকাছি পৌঁছানোর চেষ্টা করলো, অনেকটা আমাদের রাবণের মতন, ভগবানের স্বর্গে যাওয়ার সিঁড়ি তৈরি করার মতন। ঠিক সেই রকম সেই টাওয়ারটাকে ধ্বংস করে দিল ভগবান, and he didn't want them to reach heaven, and later on people got distributed all over the world, and that is why we have so many languages. Can you guess how many languages are there in the world? How many languages approximate are there in the world? Anyone? Who would like to say? Okay. Anyone new student? Someone who has not spoken earlier? Any one of you? Orchita, would you like to say? Yes, Orchita, yeah, you have raised your hand. How many languages in the world? You can Google search also, but approximately. Yes, Orchita?
Hello?
Yes, Orchita?
Yes, sir, 84.
84. Now Shreya says 2000. Okay. Sharanya says 100 crores. Brishti says 6,500. Disha, yes, Disha, tell me. Disha, tell me. Disha Khan.
Sir, I think 6,500 languages are there
Okay,
in the
okay.
world.
So Disha, you are almost right. It is, according to the linguists, it is 6,000, not 1 million. Deep. It's not 1 million. 6,000 languages. 6,000 approximately. So it can be 6,650 or 6,500, something like that, 400. And you know, languages are also disappearing. Recently, I was reading in National Geography. It's a very good journal where you find lovely things. So I was reading this article on languages, and it is saying that two important languages which were spoken by the tribes in Andaman and Nicobar Island, they completely got disappeared because because the two speakers who could speak those languages, they died, and they could not transfer that language to the next generation. Nobody wanted to learn that language because it was not in practice. And so what happened? They lost these two languages. So languages are also getting extinct. Like you people very rarely speak in English. You sorry, not in English. I'm talking about Bangla also. In good Bangla, you don't speak your mother tongue. And I can assure you, if you keep on neglecting your mother tongue, very soon this particular language, Bengali, will also be extinct. Now, Sanskrit. How many of you know Sanskrit here? Sanskrit language? Okay, I can see hands. Disha, Ognish, you all know Sanskrit. Good, good, good. No, now I'm telling you, very, very few of us know Sanskrit. And very soon, if we don't practice and we don't use it, because language lives through its use, like money. Money has no value if it is stored under the earth, in your, lockers. It has no use. It has only a value when it is in transaction. You are using it. Money is like that. Language is also like that. If you don't use it, it doesn't sharpen. Why I say that practice more of English speaking. Speak, fearlessly speak. Speak wrong English, but fearlessly. Go on. If you do that, then only you will kind of, get power to control and use that language properly. More use means you have better control over that language. So what is happening? These languages are slowly disappearing. So today it is 6,600. Very soon it will be 5,500. No sooner it will change into only maybe 5 or 6 languages. Okay, so these languages, as the biblical, that's the biblical story. from our point of view, like Indian aesthetics and Indian scriptures, Indian world of language, where you have great scholars like Panini, and you have people like who are talking about Dhwani. Uh, I'm just forgetting his name. Anandavardhana, and different other scholars, Bhartrihari, they are there who are talking about how our language, that is Indian languages, grew. What is the concept of language? Where did language come from? And it's very interesting. So today I'm telling you the biblical and the Western view. Next day I will talk about how the language grew from the Eastern perspective, from our India's concept of growth of language. এই ভাষা ভারতীয় তত্ত্ব অনুযায়ী কিভাবে তার তৈরি, কিভাবে তার বিস্তার, কিভাবে তার বৈচিত্র্য সৃষ্টি হলো, সে সম্পর্কে আমরা জানতে পারবো আগামী দিন। এবার প্রশ্ন হলো যে তোমরা এই যে বিভিন্ন ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজেস তোমরা করছো, এর তৈরি অ্যাকর্ডিং টু বিবলিক্যাল, এটা মিরাকল। কিন্তু সেই রকমই আরেকজন এখনকার লিঙ্গুইস্ট আছে, নোয়াম চমস্কি। নোয়াম চমস্কি বলছে যে হ্যাঁ, ভাষা কিভাবে তৈরি হয়েছে না, ভাষা একটি মানুষের মধ্যে এক ধরনের পরিবর্তন আসে এবং সেই বিবর্তনের মাধ্যমে সেটা তৈরি হয়। Aman wants to say something. Aman, yes. What is it, Aman? Aman and Sudhin wants to say something. Sudhin and Agnish wanted to say something. Please share, then I will continue. Please.
Yes, sir. I am Agnish. I am
Yes,
from
Agnish.
Shipur SSV.
Yes, Agnish.
And I have a question to you that according to you, what is language? That if I am and one of my friend also are communicate within us in a particular manner, that is also called a language. Or and according to you, sir, what is language? Which is spoken or which is written? Because at the ancient time, আদিম মানুষরা গুহাচিত্র অঙ্কন করত, এবং পরবর্তীকালে যখন অনেক সময়তে গুহাচিত্রগুলো মূলত শিকারমূলক হতো তাদের, আর পরবর্তী সময়তে স্যার তাদের মধ্যে যখন স্যার যাযাবর শ্রেণীর ভাগটা চলে এলো, সেই সময় থেকেই তো মূলত স্যার মানে পাতার ওপর লেখা হতো, এবং পরবর্তীকালে চায়নাতে স্যার পেপার ইনভেন্ট হয়েছিল। তো স্যার যেটা স্যার আমরা মুখে বলি সেটাই ভাষা, নাকি যেটাকে আমরা লিখে প্রকাশ করি সেটাকেও ভাষা বলা হয় স্যার? মানে অ্যাকর্ডিং টু ইউ, হোয়াট ইজ দ্য accurate thing which you can explain?
Okay, good question. Anyone, someone else like Sudhin wanted to say something before I answer Agnish's question today. Please, Sudhin, you wanted to add something? Okay, no. Aman, yes, Sudhin, please.
Sir, same question টাই ছিল আমার, একদম same question টাই ছিল।
Okay, very good. But what is your name? Because
হ্যাঁ, Shamrita Bhattacharjee.
Shamrita. Okay, Shamrita. Okay, Shamrita, which school are you from?
Sharoda Vidyapith.
Sharoda Vidyapith. Okay, very good. Before I answer Agnish's question, I have a task for you. All of you will try to, next day when you come, you will come up with your own idea of what are the features that language must have. একটা ভাষাতে কি কি থাকলে সেই ভাষাটা সবচেয়ে বেশি ইউটিলাইজ করা যেতে পারে, সবচেয়ে বেশি তাকে প্রয়োগ করা যেতে পারে, সেইটার কয়েকটা পয়েন্টস তোমরা লিখে আনবে। প্রশ্নটা সবাই বুঝতে পেরেছে? প্রশ্নটা একটা ভাষা, যে কোনো ভাষা, বাংলা, হিন্দি, উর্দু, বলো পৌলমী। Yes,
Please repeat the question.
The question is, what are the features of a good language, or an effective language must have what features? তার কি কি গুণাবলী থাকলে একটি ভাষাকে আমরা বলবো সেই ভাষাটা শক্তিশালী? Is the clear question? Is the question clear? I'm so sorry for this problem. Orchita, yes. Orchita.
একটা ভাষাকে পরিপূর্ণ হতে গেলে সর্বপ্রথম
না না, তোমাকে উত্তর দিতে হবে না, you just write, you note down the points. I will discuss that in the next class. Okay, Orchita, write it, we will discuss that in the next class. Question clear? Very good. Now Ognish's question, what is language? Language is a system. It is a system to communicate. What is communication? Communication is a process through which you are trying to express, convey, or transfer your thoughts, ideas, and message to the other. So a system which allows you to communicate is language. So language can be written, language can be spoken, language can be physical movements, language can be visuals like painting, like video, like images. Everything can be included in your what you call the subject of language. It's a huge field, you understand? So if Ognish and his friend is using something very different, which might seem, you know, in our childhood we used to do this, like two of our friends, we would have a separate language, we'll create a language and we will use it like this, ashbush, like bush bush fish, like that we will create sounds and our friend will understand, but my parents won't understand, my sister won't understand, other friends won't understand. It is only between two of us, both of us would understand that. So that is also a language. You are creating a language, and like that language also is generated. New languages grow like that. Yes, Sneha is saying I know how to use these languages. Yes, these are secret languages which were also used by army, by different groups of revolutionaries. They used these kind of secret languages, and they were not kind of comprehensible, or they were not able to, they were not reachable to common people. So these were the different ways language grew, language were generated, and there are scientists and linguistics, language scientists, who are trying to have a global language, a language which is only spoken, can be spoken by all, and it is known as Esperanto. Esperanto is an experiment that is being done through which the entire world will be able to understand all the languages. I mean, it's like a common language they are trying to create, which they are adopting things, phonetic qualities and everything from different other languages. Anakshmi, the time is almost up, but please shoot your question. Anakshmi, question please. Anakshmi, you had a question. Oh, Anakshmi wants me to repeat the question. My question is, what are the features of a good language? একটা ভালো ভাষার কি কি গুণাবলী থাকা উচিত, কি কি তার একটা পূর্ণ ভাষা, যেটা অর্চিতা বলতে শুরু করেছিল, তাই একটা পূর্ণ ভাষা বলতে আমরা কাকে বলবো, তার কি কি গুণাবলী থাকতে পারে? যেমন স্নেহা একটা ভাষা তৈরি করেছে, সেটা কি পূর্ণ ভাষা, সেটা পরে জানতে পারবো যদি তার সেই গুণগুলো থাকে। সেই গুণগুলো কি সেগুলো তোমরা লিখে আনবে। তো অনাকস্মি বুঝেছে। Ognish, is your question answered? Ognish, did you?
Yes, sir, but one more thing, that is, what is accuracy of a language which is spoken or which is written? Because some of the languages in the world are not spoken, they are might be written, or some are the might be not written, they are only spoken. So which language is spoken, that is not language, or which is only spoken not written, that can be also a language, sir?
Ognish, that's a very good question. And this is a very debatable question and a very, very pertinent question. Agnish, ever you would want to be a linguist, you will be dealing with this question only. Because linguists are also trying to find out that which language is authoritative language, the spoken language or the written language. অর্থাৎ লিখিত ভাষা আমাদের সবচেয়ে বেশি শক্তিশালী, না মৌখিক বা যেটা উচ্চারিত ভাষা সেটা হচ্ছে মৌলিক। মৌলিক ভাষা কোনটা সেই বিষয়ে একটা বিতর্ক হচ্ছে, এবং বড় বড় লিঙ্গুইস্ট লাইক চমস্কি, তারপরে দেরিদা, এবং এই ধরনের বড় বড় যারা ফিলোসফার্স এবং লিঙ্গুইস্টস আছে, তারা এই নিয়ে অনেকগুলো তত্ত্ব দিয়েছে। রোলাবার্ট, এরা সব বড় বড় লিঙ্গুইস্টস এবং ফিলোসফার যারা এই বিষয়ে আলোচনা করেছে। আমরা নেক্সট দিনে তোমাদের উত্তরগুলো শুনবো, এবং অগ্নিশের এই প্রশ্ন যে মৌখিক ভাষা কি বেশি শক্তিশালী না লিখিত ভাষা বেশি শক্তিশালী, এবং আমরা কাকে প্রাধান্য দেব, লিখিত ভাষার যে রূপ আছে সেটাকে না মৌখিক ভাষাকে, এই বিষয়ে আলোচনাটা একটা খুব গভীর আলোচনা, এটা আমরা নেক্সট দিনে করব। ইজ ইট ওকে অগ্নিশ? Did I
Yes, sir.
understand your question?
Yes, sir, thank you, sir.
Now, did I understand
Yes,
your
yes,
question?
yes,
Okay,
thank you.
okay. So this is a very,
Yeah,
very interesting topic. I would like to discuss this. Any other questions, any other doubt before I wrap up the class today? We are going into the history of origin of languages and communication so that we develop love and we can dream of a better language in our life, so that we can use quality language in our life, so that we are moving towards it. Any other any question, any doubt before I call it a day? No questions. Thank you so much. So next day, please come up, everyone, write the answers. পূর্ণ ভাষা তার গুণাবলী কি হতে পারে সেগুলো লিখে নিয়ে আসবে। ধন্যবাদ। Thank you very much.